Hi students, once again welcome back to computer class. So in our last class we studied about chapter 3. Okay, and today we are moving on to chapter 4, that is algorithms and flowchart. Okay, in chapter 4 we will be going on to the topic algorithms and flowchart. Okay, so I want to do a activity. That is, I want to make a sandwich. How do you make a sandwich? First step is you have to take 2 slices of bread and I have to place it over a plate. Okay, and over the first slice I am applying cheese, and over the second slice I am applying tomato sauce. Okay, then above this cheese I'll be putting over tomato pieces, cabbage leaves, cucumber. Okay, I'll be placing some vegetables over the cheese, and at last I'll be placing this second slice over the first slice. Okay, so this is how I make a sandwich. That is, when I said how to make a sandwich, I said it in a step-by-step manner. That is, first I have to take two slices of bread. Second step is I have to place or apply cheese over one slice. Then I have to apply tomato sauce over second slice. Okay, so when I said how to make a sandwich, I said it in a step-by-step manner. Okay, let us look at another example. That is, I want to do a project. Okay, I want to do a project on one of the topic. So for doing the project, first I have to go to the computer lab. Then I have to switch on my computer. Then I have to look for a software in which I can make a presentation. Okay, once I find a software in which I can make the presentation, I'll start doing my presentation. Okay, then I'll be adding text, images, videos, clips, charts, etc. to my slides. And finally, I have completed making my presentation. I'll be submitting my presentation to my teacher. Okay. So when I said how to do a presentation or how to do a project, I said it in a step-by-step manner. That is, first I have to go to computer lab. Then step number 2 is I have to switch on my computer. Step number 3 is I have to look for a software for making presentation. Okay, so when I said how to make a project, I said it in a step-by-step manner. When I said how to make a sandwich, I said it in a step-by-step manner. That is, whatever task we are doing in our daily life, we do it in a step-by-step manner. But we are not aware of that thing. Okay. Similarly, inside a computer also, a computer will do the work or it can complete the task only if the instructions which are provided to them are in a specific order. Okay, only if the instructions they are in a correct and orderly manner, only then the computer can provide a correct result or it can complete its task. Okay, that is similarly like what we humans do. We humans do our task in a step-by-step manner, but we are not aware of that thing. Similarly, a computer also do a work or complete a task by getting a set of instructions which are in an orderly manner or which are in a correct manner. Okay, only then a computer will be able to complete its task, or only then a computer will be able to get a correct result. Okay, and algorithm is the one who helps in writing these instructions in orderly manner. Okay, algorithm is the one who helps in writing these instructions in an orderly or correct manner. And let us see the definition for an algorithm. An algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to solve a problem and achieve the desired result. Algorithm is a step-by-step procedure. Okay, it is a step-by-step procedure for solving a particular problem. And when we use the step-by-step procedure for solving a problem, we will get the desired or correct result. Only if we are using a step-by-step procedure, only then we will be able to get the correct or desired result. Once again, an algorithm is a step-by-step procedure for solving a particular problem. And when we use the step-by-step procedure, we will be getting a desired result or a correct result. Okay. So next let us study about some of the characteristics of a good algorithm. Okay, first one is input and second one is output. Input, it must take 0 or more input, and in output it may produce 1 or more output. We know that whenever we do a work inside the computer, that is we users or programmers will provide an input to the computer. That input will get processed and finally we will be getting output. Okay, so whenever we write an algorithm, it should contain a input and also an output. Okay, whenever we write an algorithm, it should contain a input and a output. It can be 1 or more input, it can be 1 or more output. Okay, that is first two characteristics, that is input and output. That is whenever we write an algorithm, it should contain an input as well as an output. Third characteristic is definiteness. Each step must be defined precisely. That is, whenever we write an algorithm, each step inside that algorithm should be clear and precise to the users or programmers who read them, or to whoever reads that particular algorithm. The step should be clear and precise. Okay, and fourth one is effectiveness. It should be able to calculate the exact values involved in the procedure of an algorithm using a paper and pencil. That is, inside an when we write an algorithm, it might include some mathematical operations like addition, subtractions, or let it be any type of mathematical operations. Okay. So whatever operations we are performing inside this algorithm, or whatever operations we are writing inside this algorithm, such operations we should be able to write them in a paper or pencil. Okay. Only calculations which we are able to do with a paper or pencil can only be included inside an algorithm. Okay. And last one is termination. It must stop after executing a finite number of steps. Okay. That is, algorithm, it should always contain steps. Algorithm can stop or terminate only after a finite number of steps. Okay. So these are the characteristics of a good algorithm. First one is input. Second one is output. Third one is definiteness. Fourth one is effectiveness. And fifth one is termination. Okay. We know that programmers, they write program codes. Writing a program code is the final stage. Okay. At the beginning or the initial stage, a programmer should understand, or he should have an idea of that particular problem which is to be solved. On the basis of that knowledge, he will write a step-by-step procedure for that problem, which is known as algorithm. And on basis of this algorithm, he will be writing code for that particular problem. Okay. So a programmer, first he should have an understanding of that particular problem. On the basis of the understanding, he will write a step-by-step procedure for that problem, which is known as algorithm. On basis of this algorithm, finally he will write code for that particular problem. This is what usually programmers do. So algorithm plays an important part while you are writing a computer program. Okay, so in your upper classes or in your higher classes, definitely you will be studying about different types of programs. Okay, computer programs like C, C++, Java, etc. So before writing this computer program, you should be able to write an algorithm. So algorithm is an important part while you are writing a computer program. Okay. So coming on to our topic, that is steps for developing an algorithm. First one is analysis. Understand the problem which is to be solved. Okay. Programmers, they should have a clear understanding of the problem which is to be solved. That is what we mean by analysis. Next one is begin. Write the algorithm with start. That is, whenever you write an algorithm, your first step should be start. Okay. Whenever you write an algorithm, your first step should be start. Next one is input. Enter the variables as required in the problem. Whenever we are doing a work inside the computer, for example, you want to add two numbers inside the computer. So you will be entering the two numbers into the computer. And computer will add these two numbers and finally you will be getting output. Okay. So I want to add two numbers 3 and 5. Okay. I want to add two numbers 3 and 5. So this is my input. 3 and 5 are my input. I am providing this input to the computer. Computer will add these two numbers, 3 plus 5, and I will be getting the output as 8. But while you are writing an algorithm, you cannot directly write numbers. That is, you cannot enter numbers like 3 and 5. Instead of that, you should write variables. Okay. That is, I am assigning 3 is equal to A, and I am assigning 5 is equal to B. Okay. You cannot directly write numbers inside the algorithm. So instead of that, you are assigning these numbers to variables like A, B, C, D, etc. Okay. That is what you mean by input. Enter the variables as required for the problem. And fourth one is processing. Write the formula for the calculation in the number of steps as required. So here my problem is I want to add my two numbers, that is 3 and 5. So for processing this, I will be writing the next step. For processing, I have to write a step, that is A plus B. Okay. That is, first I am giving input to the computer. My input, I cannot directly write numbers. So my input is A and B. And I want to add this A and B. Okay. So in the processing step, I will be adding A and B. Okay. That is what you mean by processing. And last one is output. Show the output in the variables as required. So my problem is being processed. My problem was I want to add these two numbers A plus B. So my processing is completed and I want to get the output. So the output for A plus B is given to a variable sum. Okay. This sum is my output. You will get a clear idea of this when I am teaching about you in an example. Okay. So first you should understand that first one is analysis. That is, programmers, they should have a clear idea of the problem that is to be solved. Second one is, whenever you start an algorithm, you should you should write the first step as start. And third one is input. That is, we cannot directly enter numbers while you are writing an algorithm. Instead of that, you can use variables like A, B, C, D. Okay, you should assign the numbers to this variables like A, B, C, D. And next one is processing. That is, you have to write the formula for solving that particular problem. Here my problem is I want to add this variables A and B. So I am adding it A plus B. Okay. This A plus B I will be writing in this processing step. And last one is output. That is my problem of adding two variables A and B is been completed. That is, I have added the variables A plus B. And I am assigning that result to the word or to the variable sum. That is output. Okay. You will get a clear idea of this once you study about an example. Okay. Next, let us study the rules for writing an algorithm. First one is always begin the first step with start. Okay. That is, your first step inside an algorithm should be start. Second one is always write each step in separate line and number them. Okay. Each step should be written in separate line and they should be numbered like step 1, step 2, step 3. You should give numbers for each step. And third one is use the word input or read when you want to input. Okay. Whenever you are inputting something into the algorithm, you should use the words input or read. That is input A. Input the variable B, input the variable C. Okay. And fourth one is use the word print or write when you want to output. For outputting, you should use the words print or write. For example, print sum, write average. Okay. And fifth one is always end with the stop. You should always begin the algorithm with start and you should always end the algorithm with stop. And sixth one is do not make the algorithm too long. Okay. Your algorithm should be short and precise. So once again, first rule is you should always begin the algorithm with start. You should always end the algorithm with stop. Then your algorithm, it should be written in, each step should be written in separate line. And each step should be numbered like step 1, step 2, step 3, etc. whenever you are writing input or you want to input something, you should use the word input or read. For example, input A, input B. Okay, and if you want to output, you should use the words print or write. Print sum, write average. Okay, and fifth one is always you should end with stop. And the sixth one is do not make the algorithm too long. Your algorithm should be short and precise. Okay, so these are the rules for writing an algorithm. Let us see an example of an algorithm. Okay, that is, I want to write an algorithm to find the average of three numbers. Okay, for finding the average of three numbers, I have to write an algorithm. So we have studied that always an algorithm should start with step number 1 should be start. Okay, always your algorithm should start with the word start. Step number 1 is start. And we have studied that each step inside an algorithm should be written in separate line. Okay, see here all steps, they are being written in separate line and each step is being given numbers. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6. Okay, so once again, always your algorithm should start with the word start, or they should begin with the word start, and each step should be written in separate line. Okay, and each step should be numbered like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, etc. Okay, and look at the step number 2. You have to input A, B, C. We have studied that we cannot enter directly numbers while you are writing an algorithm. That is, you cannot write numbers like 2, 3, 4, etc. Instead of that, you have to use variables. Here, A means a number. For example, A means the number 2. B means the number 3. C means the number 4. Okay. So, instead of these numbers 2, 3, 4, I have written A, B, C. This is how you can write inside an algorithm. And we have studied that for inputting, if you want to input something into the algorithm, you should use the word input. Okay. So, second step is input A, B, C. Third step is find the sum of the three numbers as sum is equal to A plus B plus C. We know that for finding the average, first you should find the sum of these numbers. Okay, so third step is you are finding the sum of these three numbers. That is, here the processing takes place. First we have given the input. Then you should find, then next one is the processing takes place. Okay, here the processing is, first processing is sum is equal to A plus B plus C. Second processing is you have to find the average by using this sum. Okay, so here I have written A plus B plus C and have assigned them into a word or into a variable sum. Okay, and fourth step is find the average of the three numbers as average is equal to sum divided by 3. My second processing takes place here. That is, average is equal to sum divided by 3. And step number 5 is print average. So, my processing is being completed. I want to get the output. Okay. And I have said that whenever you want to output, you should use the word print or write. Okay. So, here I am printing the average. And step number 6 is stop. Always your algorithm should end or terminate with the word stop. So, once again, always your algorithm should begin with the word start. And each step, they should be written inside separate line and you should number them also, like step number 1, step number 2, step number 3. This is mandatory, okay? And step number 2 is you are inputting the numbers or you are inputting the variables. And we have studied that while writing algorithm, you cannot directly write numbers like 2, 3, 4. Instead of that, you are using the variables like A, B, C. Here A means 2, B means 3, C means 4. Okay. And step number 3 is processing takes place. First we are giving input. Then the processing should takes place. Here we are finding the average of 3 numbers. Okay. For finding the average of 3 numbers, first we should find the sum of that 3 numbers. Okay. So first processing is A plus B plus C, and that result is being assigned to the variable sum. And second processing is in the step number 4. That is, we are finding the average, that is equal to sum divided by 3. The result is being assigned to the variable average. Okay, and after the processing you should get the output, and whenever you want to get the output you should use the word print. Okay, print average. And last one step is you should use the word stop for terminating the algorithm. Okay, this is how you write an algorithm.